Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to High School Hoops with your hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Steger.
Here we go. All right, welcome to High School Hoops, the last one of 2020. Thank gosh, 2020.
Yeah, we got a lot to celebrate. Hopefully, we'll have a better next year at this time at 2021. We'll hopefully having way better conversations.
Hey, this time next year, I'll be able to officially retire. I won't retire.
No, you won't. You still got too much left to do.
Because you have to. Well, for those of you who are listening all over the world and the country, I teach and coach in Wisconsin, and you cannot touch your teacher's retirement until you're 55. So this time next year, I'll be 55. I won't touch it because that's not the magic number. Somewhere between 57 and 59 is actually the magic number. But by this time next year, I'll be sitting here. I'll have a bigger smile on my face because it'll be like, okay.
I think your real smile will be because hopefully you'll be able to be coaching basketball again and being able to have and your son will be hopefully back at Middlebury and
he'll be out of the house. I won't be feeding
and be able to have a
I won't be going through 24 eggs every 3 days. I know. It's crazy.
You'll miss him when he's gone though.
Oh, I'll miss him a lot. Yes, it'll be the 4 girls. It'll be the 2 dogs and my wife and my daughter and me. Yes, it'll be the 4
That's why
girls.
you'll coach for a while.
I'll be coaching. My daughter will be a junior next year, so
still you'll still be coaching forever.
But then it will be 3 girls, and then maybe we'll get a 3rd dog.
Hey, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Basketball just keeps your marriage strong,
Well, I'm telling you, I told my wife, I said, as long as we're here in the winter, I need something.
You're gonna have to.
And the problem is my bride is almost 6 years younger than me. So, I got to get her to the point where she can retire.
Right, but now you have an excuse to coach another couple more years, even if you retire from teaching. There you go. Perfect excuse.
We'll see. Teachhoops.com, baby. And that leads into teachhoops.com. So
Did you talk about Dr. Dish already? Make sure we
I'm wearing the Dr. Dish. I've worn it all December. It's got dog hairs all over it. I will talk about Dr. Dish. They are coming back. They will be our sponsor for next year. I'm so super excited about it.
Best shooting machine out there for sure.
Isn't it? It is.
It's awesome.
It's like I told them as we were negotiating this year's kind of podcast thing and all the social media and stuff. And it's like I said, I don't want to have another sponsor. I love your machine. I mean, there's a reason I love it.
Right, because you're really talking about a product that you believe in. You're not being fake.
Gosh. The customer service is second to none. And the thing is, and it's like I said a couple, 5-6 weeks ago, it's like I was worried the machine wasn't going to start up because it hadn't been running for, it's like, boom. It's like
I know, but nothing compares to when you have used other machines and so forth, and you finally get the experience of Dr. Dish of watching how easy it is to set up and all the things you can do with it and the technology. It is so cool. It is. And it just builds your program. It's so 21st century for kids. You know, the app, the progressing, all that stuff. I mean, you can even have it set up and pass to you in the post, all different things you can do.
They're not, here's what I'm going to tell you. They're not going to be the Blockbuster of shooting machines. They are innovative. Like Blockbuster was sitting back and thinking people were going to rent VHS tapes forever. Not happening.
They're always on the next step of what they need to do. They're constantly designing their product to best suit the 21st century basketball player.
They really are. They really are. They know
it's more than just a shooting machine. I mean, take a look at the videos, watch the passing, post drills, all those things you can do. It's such a great product to use.
It is. It is. And talking about great products, let's talk about teachhoops.com. So
let's talk about
Jake. So we are. So I'm going to pull this up because I don't exactly remember. Do you have your Spotify open?
I do.
So how long have we been doing this podcast? I'm going to go back and as we're talking here, is it 2 years, 2.5 years? And I know we briefly have talked about, so I'm going to go and look and see when our first one was November 2nd, right?
November 2nd, 2018.
So we've been doing this for 2+ years. And obviously teachhoops.com has been a sponsor of it because it's my baby. But we thought, ending 2020, which has been a crappy year for everybody for all sorts of stuff, it would be a great time. And to be honest with you, teachhoops.com is how Jake and I met, is to talk about the community a little bit, talk about it as we kind of head into the new year. We're all kind of, floundering a little bit and trying to figure out what 2021 is going to look like. Hopefully it's going to be more normal than 2020, but thought we would talk about teachhoops.com. It's a info commercial in some respects, but in 120 plus episodes, we really haven't done this. So I'm gonna give you a little history about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll talk about my perspective,
okay,
multiple perspectives, but go talk about the history. But I have some insight of working with other coaches now and really seeing it from a different lens too. And
I'll give you the Spark Note / Cliff Note version of Teach Hoops, how it came about. So my brother got me started, and it initially started as a marketplace for trainers or coaches and players. That's where it started. And I had younger kids when that started, and just, it wasn't going to work. It was just too much time. Is which comes first, the trainer or the player, and then trying to find space and how do they make money. And so the pivot was, my brother sat me down. He says, well, what do you know? I go, I know how to coach basketball. He goes, well, you've been very successful. You won like 80% of your games as a coach. You should teach people how to coach basketball. And a week later at the lake house with I think my brother's wife actually came up with the name, and literally naming things that can be kind of difficult at times. But eventually we landed on Teach Hoops, and it was initially just kind of DVDs and selling things. And then I wasn't feeling like I was connecting with the coaches. So Teach Hoops kind of pivoted and became like a one-stop shop for basketball coaches, is what it became. And to be honest with you, in the pandemic, I haven't been selling a lot. I mean, selling is, the business is doing fine, but I haven't been out marketing and doing all those kind of things, in the sense that I've been working on the back end, working on the roadmap, working on new courses, working on things for the members that have stayed, because literally some coaches are coaching and some coaches aren't. And what I've tried to do is give stuff to both of them, give stuff to people that are coaching and that aren't coaching. Because eventually we're all going to be back coaching, and we all need to work on our craft. Just like I work on my teaching craft and how to teach statistics properly, I'm always working on my basketball coaching craft. And last week I had a bunch of interviews with a bunch of college coaches, and we I remember which one it was. It might have been the Vassar coach. I was laughing about how I wish I knew as much as I did in my 20s, because it's, as I get older, I feel like I know less. and because, there's so much information, so much stuff. So what I've tried to do is decipher that and make it easier, show people how to win games and have fun doing it in less time is basically, if I had to paraphrase it, that's kind of what we've been trying to do. But I'd love to hear about your journey. What's the Mayville? What was the mascot in Mayville?
Cardinal. Why?
Cardinal. That's the number one mascot in Wisconsin. Do you know that?
I think I've learned a lot because I've learned that a lot of times as coaches, we try to do too much early on in our career and try to take on a position way too early. And one thing about basketball is really hard is like I'm also a soccer guy. And so like soccer, when you're a soccer coach, you're required to take a certain amount of classes and you have to do like an E-level course and a higher level course, and you keep building upon that. And like, that's why I think Teach Hoops is so great, is that you're constantly developing your craft and you're learning. You can only learn so much from a DVD. You can only learn so much by reading a book. But like that social interaction and working with other coaches and climbing up the ladder, like if I were to do it all over again, that's how exactly I would have done. I would have built upon it, And what I've done with soccer and my knowledge and what I can do now, I wish I could have done even more with basketball. So when I look at Teach Hoops, I look at the simple fact is that, and I've been able now to work with some other coaches across the country, is that like the point that it is the best thing out there is because it's that interactive piece. You have a question and you're able to find the solution right away.
Yeah,
and you can build around it. So
I'm telling you, this is why Teach Hoops is different than anything out there. If you email me, like literally this morning, I had some issues that I had to deal with family wise, and I had a teachhoops.com member call. They understood. They understood. It's like, well, because they have my cell phone number. They have we were able to we'll make it work this week. So sorry, but they go, no, deal with what you got to deal with, Steve. No problem. Blah blah blah. It's not like this person. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Like I'm not behind this.
But don't you find yourself enjoying it? So like Brock is a guy that I work with,
right?
And he texts me. He's got my personal number, and he'll text me, and he's like, when you want to do this? I'm like, how about in 15 minutes? I'm dying to talk about the game. So,
right.
But he'll ask the question. Here's a great example of why it's so, I would say that it's not even more of getting the information. It's adaptable. I mean, there's so much that we get information. We have to make it adaptive to us and the level that we're coaching. So he was interested in running the flex offense. And I told him, I said, that there's 7-8 different variations of the flex offense.
Right.
And you can go this. He's like, whoa. I'm like, but you could have 1 or 2 screens based on your level of play. You can have your spacing. I said, when I ran the flex with 7th and 8th graders, when I first started my career, I had my flex higher and I only had this screen and that screen. And I simplified it. And then basically we were on fast draw and I basically built that stuff for him and he was able to use it.
Right.
Or how would you attack a 2-3? All right, well, then if you have strengths here, this is how I would rotate my middle guy in here. You're able to constantly adapt your question and your need with having an interaction with another person with knowledge. It's great. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing else on the market that does that for you.
There are other people that do what I do. Here's what I'm going to tell you. A couple things. First of all, half of them are run by guys that are college coaches, which they know their stuff. They know it better than me. I'm not going to question their knowledge. They probably know basketball better than me. That's all they do. But they don't have the time I have. They have not experienced grandma coming in and yelling at you after a game. They have not dealt with the kid that gets sick or breaks up with his girlfriend. Because they're dealing with college kids. They're not dealing with high school kids. They're
also dealing with kids that want to be there. They're on a scholarship or this or that. We
have
experienced everything from grades, all little kids, all the way up to high school, fundraising, all the things that people don't talk about. There's a huge
difference. And it's nothing against them. It's this just that they do not experience it. They're not in coaching. I coach my son all the way through youth. I've done all that stuff.
I've coached at every level, and I've ran camps.
I know what you're going through is what I'm telling you. I've experienced it. I felt it. Nothing.
So you see something that you really like, and it's intended for high school, but you can't do that if you're got a 7th or 8th grade team, or you know what I mean. How can I? And you got to help people put things in perspective. I'm like. Well, I said, one of the coaches I worked with, they said, I want to run the 1-3-1. I said, how do you want to run your 1-3-1?
Right.
You can run a 1-3-1 in middle school and win tons of tournaments because teams don't prepare for that. but are you really teaching your players to become better basketball players? You know,
Right.
you're teaching them how to trap, right, and steal the ball, but are they really working on becoming a better team? You know, you have those conversations like, are you thinking about where you're taking your players the next route? Because I think too often coaches, and I don't know, I maybe that's not how it is. Well, for us in the United States, we don't go and get licensures to coach 7th and 8th grade. We don't get licensures, and we don't take modules and coaching and build upon it like where some sports like club soccer, you know, you got to take a 4v4 class, and then you take a 7v7 class, and then you take a 9v9 class and 11v11. And now I'm doing my D license. My D license is incredible. Like, I'm actually working with another coach out of Madison, Jim Lauders, who was the coach at Madison, and he's my mentor. Like, how cool is that? That's basically what Teach Hoops is like.
Right.
All the time.
Yes. And the thing is, again, talking about some of these other ones, and there's been other ones that have popped up from other high school coaches. I would put my resume against any of theirs, to be honest with you. But
unless your name is Bob Hurley.
Well, Bob Hurley doesn't have one. If Bob Hurley has one, no, I cannot. But there's other coaches that have better resumes than me, but the ones that have popped up do not have better resumes than me.
No.
But anyway, tooting my own horn, but toot. Anyway, I would argue those other ones that are out there, they're not giving their cell phone numbers out. They're not making they're not taking their Sunday afternoons to get on one-on-one calls when you need it. They're doing stuff similar, maybe like a group call, but trust me, they are not individually calling every member. They are not like every member that joins gets a message from me. They get my email, they'll get my number. So that's what makes it unique. It's one of the reasons my brother keeps telling me to increase prices. He goes,
right.
I
would compare it to mentorship, right?
Yes.
It is an ongoing mentorship. It's
with a lot of stuff.
With a lot of stuff. So you're learning, but the key thing is in a coaching class, a really good coaching class, is that the mentorship. Okay.
Right.
So, or if when you're doing student teaching and the great practicum teachers that you had, that's where you learn, not from the books, not from the DVDs.
No, and I got everything. Literally, if I don't have something you need, I will make it for you. Like Jake and I were literally talking about this with a Teach Hoops member wanted something. We literally made it for him. It's like, if you need something, we will get it for you or make it for you. That's not a problem.
People listen to our podcast. Steve will email me, hey, can you get this for him? Sure, done.
Let's do this. That's not the issue. The issue is so what I'm doing is I'll have a member say, hey, I want this. I'll say, hey, we can get on a call. You can go watch this. You can do this, whatever. And some people don't necessarily want to talk to me, which is fine too. Like they want, where can I go find this? Because I've got 3 small kids at home and I've got 20 minutes. Well, look at this. So it's Teach Hoops started because I wanted to solve a problem that I had as a young coach, and I wish would have been there. I had to go to clinics and listen to Don Meyer and take 8,000 notes and do all that stuff. I've done all that for you. And that's why I think it makes teachhoops.com so special. So that's and again, we'll do this every 2 years. Jake,
I guess no matter what, from just a tidbit about beyond Teach Hoops is that if you really want to become a good basketball coach, you've got to learn from others and constantly talk about the game.
You need a mentor. And I'm going to tell you, if you're listening to this, you don't need me. You need a mentor. You need someone that's going to help you become a better basketball coach. I had great mentors when I was growing up. You need to find a mentor. We yell at our kids all the time to work on their craft. You have to work on your craft. I only became a better basketball coach because I spent as much, if not more time than most people. Swear to God. I'm not smarter than other people. I'm not like a harder work. I just literally 24/7, 365. It's all I was thinking about. Blah, 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 blah. It was like, that's what it was. And it's like, what I'm telling you is 30 years of experience. Let me help you win more games in less time and have fun doing it.
Right.
But
ultimately you're going to get what you get by what you put into it, and
yes. But I can save the time. Like, don't go through like Like I had a teacher member the other day ask about, like, they were going through their rules and their expectations, and I helped her walk through it. It's like, let me help you. I've already done it. You don't have to reinvent a wheel. You're not going to reinvent a new offense unless you got
right. Or put some clarity into. That's what another great thing of mentorship is. You may think of something that's really good, and it might not fit your age group or the level or the talent that you have, and you start thinking about adjusting in a different way. When you start talking and working with a mentor, you're able to really get some clarity and understanding, and it reshapes your basketball mind. You start to understand how the game really works and how you build things and how you make things work for your team that season. Because it's so easy to pick this, that. Oh, that looks cool. That looks cool.
There's so much noise out there.
Yep, the deer in the headlight factor.
It is. It's like it makes my head want to explode. Like when the pandemic started, there were like 80 billion webinars. It's like those are all great, and you're going to learn a lot from them. You're going to implement about 3% of it. 3% of it, maybe. Like all great ideas. But you're going to implement about 2-3% of it. Because when push comes to shove, you got to get in front of your kids. You got to teach them the game of basketball. You got to try to win games and keep your job.
So I would consider Teach Hoops personalized PD.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
Personalized PD of your craft.
Yes.
And it's really hard. It's not a one size all. It's a personalized approach to learning the game of basketball at your own pace. There's nowhere else you can get that.
Nope. So come over and check it out. Come join me. I would love it. Okay. Have a great New Year, Coach. Make good decisions on New Year's Eve.
Okay. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I'm going to be in bed by like 10 o'clock. So I know I'll make good decisions.
I'll stay away from the eggnog. All right.
Yes.
Sounds good. Bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.